NBA Finals. Shai Gilgeous Alexander gives his all and gives Oklahoma City its first championship after grueling Game 7. Oklahoma City Luggins Dort flexed and preened, and Alex Caruso popped his jersey to the crowd. Meanwhile, Shai Gilgeous Alexander could barely muster a smile, the most valuable player so exhausted, so drained he couldn't lift his head, his eyes fixated across the way to his family. But he had time for the Larry O'Brien Championship trophy a few minutes later, fortified by triumph, along with raising the Bill Russell Trophy that signified his personal place in history as one of the few to win regular season MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. No memeable moments, no super celebration planned, just exhaustion. Yeah, it's been a long journey. Long season, Gilgeous Alexander told Yahoo Sports nearly 2 hours after the game, still on the post-game media circuit. A lot of games. I just wanted to go out and give it my all tonight. And I think I did so. What an emotional night. What a long 3 weeks, a long 13 years for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The defining roar, a cathartic release from a fan base that believed it would be in June every year, with a franchise that had done everything right despite market and financial disadvantages that proved difficult to overcome. It took 7 games, a heartbreaking injury, and a game challenge from an Indiana Pacers team that refused to exit the stage promptly, but the first championship in Oklahoma City history was clinched Sunday night with a 103-91 win at Paycom Center. Gilgeous Alexander had one of his least efficient games in the series and was clearly fatigued down the stretch after 40 breakneck minutes, but grinded out 29 points and 12 assists, including the decisive stretch in the third quarter that turned a halftime deficit into a double-digit lead. The shooting line 8 for 27 is reminiscent of Kobe Bryant's 6 for 24 performance in Game 7 of the 2010 Finals, but efficiency be damned, in these spots a championship is to be won by any means necessary. So much weight off my shoulders. So much stress relieved, Gilgeous Alexander said in his news conference. No matter what, you go into every night wanting to win. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Tonight could have been one of those nights where we found a way. Giving all you have is romanticized in professional sports, without the promise of a payoff. But feeling it, while also knowing your main counterpart possibly gave his Achilles to the game, to the series, to history, it puts a different spin on the phrase. Tyrese Haliburton looked game for the moment. He looked ready for all the gloriousness Game 7 had to offer, the opportunity to beat a favored team on the road, in their building, hitting 3 early triples, all well beyond the line. He was talking. He was barking a primal yell to the smattering of fans wearing Pacers yellow in the stands. In Game 6, he looked to the heavens after making his first triple, the gates opening. In Game 7, he writhed in agony, banging his fist on the hardwood, crying out because he knew his injured calf gave way to something so much more severe. Like Kevin Durant did in 2019, almost in the same manner, hitting long jump shots on the road, giving his team life. Then his leg gave, and history was forever changed in that moment in Toronto. Unfortunately, the story of the NBA Finals cannot be accurately told without noting the toll. For all its beauty, the brutal reality sits in the cost. The best of Klay Thompson. The best of Kevin Durant. In some ways, it leaves you with the same feeling that you'd wish the series ended earlier, that even with the Thunder being worthy champions deserving of every ounce of praise they'll receive, that the series didn't have to claim limbs and careers. Before the Pacers gathered around Haliburton, one Thunder player came to check on him. Knowing he wasn't okay, Gilgeous Alexander. These two teams are partners in history, forever bonded by competition and, unfortunately now, trauma. I just asked him if he was all right. Seemed like he was in pain, he said. You just hate to see it in sports in general, but in this moment, my heart dropped for him. I couldn't imagine playing the biggest game of my life, and something like that happening. It's not fair. But competition isn't fair sometimes. Game 7s are never truly fair or pretty. The body is beaten and atrophied after 9 months, and over 100 games of non-stop competition. Nobody is fresh or at their absolute best. But the last few years have produced satisfaction for suffering or tortured franchises, luck smiling after frustrating years for the Milwaukee Bucks, Denver Nuggets, and Boston Celtics. It showed what team building, continuity, and learning through pain can produce.